she's the one you love. So you have to ask yourself, how am I going to give her everything without giving her what she doesn't want? And you like to imagine that you're Leonardo da Vinci, your audience's model, your colleagues behind with everything. There's nothing you can't do. You write, paint, perform, compose, invent, you name it. All you're so clean and simple. Your only real task is to just stay out of the way. But then, of course, you're really just Mr. Monkey, aren't you? Dreams both day and night suggest enormous talent in both art and government, but nothing happens. You do dishes, you start fires in a wood stove, you babysit, and you complain, where's my love, where's my love? And then finally your body begins to relax. You feel very light and sweet. It's rest, divine rest. And suddenly it hits you. I'm going to die. You panic. Another sleepless night.
I could never keep a gun or hide a knife in my bedside table. I'd be too tempted to use it on myself rather than face the terror of waking. What was I dreaming? Did I had to remember something, or as I woke, was I just trying to remember the dream? Why? What am I always forgetting? Why am I this constant reminder of something I'm not reminded? Oh, now you don't. Here comes the little ghost. Hello there, little one. Did you wake up? You both want to scream. What's going on here? Get it. Hi, honey. Did you wake up? I lift her into bed and place her at her mother's breast. Lips and tongue make a perfect seal over the tit, and milk flows through the top. But you're too old to suckle, aren't you? You have to wake up. So, what is going on here? Nothing fits. The house has sunk. The walls are cracked. And the door barks itself on the jamb. I'm crumbling again, down to the place where I'll be reminded that I can't remember. I stumble like a gigantic drunken crawfish, shoving my coat hanger limbs through the glass of darkened doors and windows. A monster of loneliness, invading communities abandoned long ago. My sex wanders from compartment to compartment in my brain, aimlessly, helplessly, like a pariah at a cocktail party. Pathetic ghost who will not, cannot, must not rest wherever and however deep he's buried. Don't give me one. Don't give me that unity. Shit! And don't give me two. Don't give me that duality. Shit! And for Christ's sake, don't insult me with that holy trinity. Shit! And don't even mention quadraternity. Shit! Because five is the number of women I've got on my mind today. One is the one that don't exist. Two are the ones that tear me in half. Three is the man got all crossed up. What for? Just hang on till the weekend. Yeah, five. 5 is the number of women I've got on my mind today. Now keep away from me, just keep away from me with that destiny shit, and don't make me sad. I ain't found no perfect marriage shit. Now that ego, super such, there's some interesting shit. But then you add just one more and you got some real square shit. Yeah. 5 is the number of women I've got on my mind today. The ocean was so lonely it never slept. Night fell deeper. The tide came in. The waves crawled closer and closer to the bed, begging each time for love. Drenching the curtain, pounding the walls all night, hammering the floor into an endless field of glistening cement with a voice that mourned, a voice that longed, a voice that roared from deep in the darkest throat. Then you came, in your yawning scallop, riding a crest that washed all remorse away. When you gasped, when you quivered, when your chin shuddered, the ocean was only an ocean. Not so vast, not so deep, not so relentless as you. Want to possess you, show others my prize, hold proof of my joy, cause envious sighs, afraid to believe what I feel in your hips, and taste on your lips. Need to have faith in the look in your eyes. This brain is useless, it only denies. Do nothing but trust what I feel in your hips, and taste on your lips. I'm gonna take these words and set them on fire. The secret is all our love will require. I don't need proof when it burns in our hips and burns on our lips. You never really loved before, because you loved them within reason. You were a pro at self-control. It was an endless winter season. All your friends and all your someones will want to hang you for this treason. Don't let them talk. Don't let them touch you. Don't let them harm what you should seize on. Live like a lightning rod and learn to take the shock. You can't go on much longer if your soul is stuck in hock. Tear off all the band-aids made your body feel like rock. Live like a lightning rod and learn to take the shock. Live like a lightning rod. Live like a lightning rod. Live like a lightning rod and learn to take the shock. Welcome all the demons home. Welcome them in legions. Welcome all the filthy angels condemned to nether regions. Get rid of that unworthy God who built you of allegiance. Betray him hard, betray him fast, and for the holiest of reasons, decorum's the cyanide you swallowed, blinded you to all that's hallowed. Precious paths lay still unfollowed while you practiced what's allowed. Live like a lightning rod and learn to love the storm. Abandon all the do's and don'ts. They could never keep you warm. Listen to the critics scream, hey, where's the content? Where's the form? Live like a lightning rod and learn to love the storm. Live like a lightning rod. Live like a lightning rod. Live like a lightning rod and learn to love the storm. I was having some very interesting dreams at the time. In one, I was sitting in the sand, watching the waves approach and withdraw, and I began to dig absent-mindedly. I dug deeper and deeper, until I clawed my way through to a dark paste, and then suddenly I realized I'd gone too deep. Something which once throve in the muck, now throve in me. A strange, beautiful, vaguely frightening woman stood nearby and watched as hundreds, thousands of tiny microscopic animals took up residence in my left arm. They buried themselves deep within the flesh and secreted a substance which petrified my forearm, turned it into something more like wood or stone. I wanted to tear the limb off my body and throw it into the sea. It was that revolting to me. My body had been infiltrated by nature, and I abhorred her secrets. I abhorred her mysteries. I abhorred her hidden ways. Don't pass so near the river. It's your look, and not the faceless water, makes me gladly shiver. Water runs deep, with no eyelight, leaves it cold. Immersed in twin green pools, the current draws me toward your heart. I'm spared the fate of desperate fools who dive so deep and die, but not in you as I do. Don't stand too near the tree. It's your body, not that earthborn statue, lifts me where I'm free, roots from deep in darkness, ignorant and blind, cradled in your love bow. I listen to your warm lip breeze. It flutters my ear and tells me how when autumn comes, my still green leaves will not be shed for others. Don't become too great. Please, don't stand too tall. I can't reach a giantess lover or withstand a mother of us all. Find me in the field. Draw near and face my face. Let love become my atmosphere, or I'm lost in outer space. Day by day, I'll safely swim inside your gaze. I'll dandle on your strong and pulsing limb. I'll look beneath me without finding the bottom of my love for you. And that is surely terrifying enough. passionate outbursts, in bed and out. There was a part of me, way down deep inside, that was getting very scared. And I should have let that tell me something. I should have known. I should have known it was going to be like those crazy pagans all over again. Did you know that in ancient Europe, the tribal nymph chose an annual lover from her entourage of young men, the king, to be sacrificed when the year ended? His flesh was torn and eaten raw by priestesses wearing the masks of bitches, mares, and sows. Interesting. She used to leave me without warning, wholly unattended, and I'd stumble into traffic, get mowed down by self-invoked and drunken spooks, love's #1 killers, jealousy and fear. With lightning speed, they choked the lanes, not heeding the signs of warning. Child crossing, child halting, child stunned, child lost. A mother's instinct should have brought her back to save her child from slaughter. A word, a look to say that she'd return, that I should wait, that I didn't have to cross this way alone. But she'd go away, so I'd try to keep her here within until she returned. And I often thought I could actually feel her move about inside me, in my veins. And sometimes, when I couldn't wait any longer, I'd cut myself and watch her blossom from the wound. This was not what I had bargained for. Was it? This reprise of primordial sex and death, this pipeline to ancient living nightmares? She was not a goddess or a tribal nymph. She was a woman. And she loved me. I made her laugh. I made her weep. I made her gasp. I made her scream. I said things that made her faint. I raked through that sleepy mind of hers and unearthed secrets she'd been keeping even from herself. I drew magnificent coral snakes from out of her body. I was tremendous. I was brilliant. Every power latent within me unfolded in her presence. I couldn't help it. She was everything to me, and I was... It wasn't a matter of whether what I offered might not be enough, or what she wanted was too much. Both questions are irrelevant. She loved me. Deeply, at times with glorious abandon. She gave me more than any woman had ever given me before, which only served to prove how much more I needed, but she had the power. She had the power. I know she had the power, but there was something inhuman about her. She had this incomprehensible will to leave. Again and again. And finally for keeps. It was as if no matter how perfect and profound our love was, she had always belonged to someone or something else. She was everything to me. And I was almost everything to her. So, there I was, on a late night, late summer floor, my ankles wrapped in a cool breeze, my ears in soft music, my heart hung on a hook in the hallway, waiting to be chosen for her adornment. Oh, my sweet lady, could I lie in your lap? Would you smile for me? Would you hold me? I promise you this, you would be wrapping my immeasurable gift to you. But the phone doesn't ring, the door doesn't knock, and the clock insists on ticking till it finally points to bedtime, and I'm supposed to sleep. I move from vertical to horizontal. Nothing else changes. I could still hear the phone if it rang. I could still hear the door if it knocked. And all I can hear is that clock ticking, moving from time of small chance toward time of no chance at all. And I'm supposed to sleep. Hey, I'm lying down. At least my feet won't get tired. One learns to focus on the little things until slowly they become a reason for living long enough to wake again. And in the morning, there you'll be. My friends will speak of you, though they never quite mention your name. I'll hear you everywhere. The newswoman, the checkout girl, and the waitress will all assume your voice. I'll see you everywhere, glimpse you a dozen different times in a dozen different street corners, and so the conspiracy grows, and so there's this incorrigible love. I don't have to be drunk to call your name aloud in a dark alley somewhere. It's that or go back to bed, where every night my milk is sucked moonward. Yes, my love defies gravity, not to mention common sense. That lady was a saint-like thief. Her heart was criminal. She stole from nature until the fragrance from her body and the wildness in her eyes convinced me that she was my only world. So I turned my back on the sun and river and vowed to bathe only in her body, sensing, suspecting, knowing, denying that I was giving more than was due. And then came the two most dangerous words in the language. Trust me. And I said I did, when I didn't. And where there is passion without trust, there lives, there thrives, there reigns Aphrodisia. There's nothing to keep me from you but you. I've lost those who loved me, cradled and kissed the child within me, glimpsed my death once or twice, shattered my notions of right and wrong, and dared to speak of must. Yes, I could claw my way back to you, exhibit once more my taste for folly, and lick the hardness of your beauty, your cold beauty which seems so inviting from a distance. This distance! I do my best to annihilate it. I ignore time, food, work, sleep. I have no days. I have no nights. I have no sun and moon. I have no wind and rain. I deprive and debase myself in the name of love. Self-respect is only a ruse designed to cheat me of my reward. Ditto for anyone else's respect. I'm violating my way toward the one goal. I'm screwed up so metaphysically tight I could explode this distance only to have my passion cling like dust to your armorial flesh. You stone, you idol, will you leave me like some godless monk? Go ahead, deny my salvation. I'll go the way of craven piety, make a ritual of my pain, a canon of my lust, tear out my heart and place you, the smiling Madonna, in the cavity. And as I carve away the tissue, the cavity will become a chapel. And I'll keep digging at myself until the chapel becomes a cathedral, and your deification is complete. Pillars shoot through my arms and legs, and my heart gives over to an empty hall where you are worshipped daily. Sepulchral gibberish clicks and rolls off my tongue, and all my love songs, which could have caused your tiny foot to dance even more lightly, which could have wrecked April, May, and most of June, are murmuring themselves to death. Yes, loving you has made me what I most despise. What a holy catastrophe! What a kick in the balls! Faced with circumstances such as these, one is compelled to ask the question, what is the fucking point? Well, the answers tend toward the paradoxical. Love is its own and only law. It will destroy what must be destroyed. It will create what must be created. It will deny what must be denied. It will provide what must be provided. Love is that which must be hoped for but never expected. That which must be longed for but never demanded. Love will break your heart so it's stronger when it's mended. Unfortunately, my intimations of truth behave more or less like cockroaches. They scatter the moment the lights go on. Yeah, I can talk the lingo, I just can't live the magic. I say the word heal often, but I never heal. I say better, but it's never better. I say not so bad, when it's very, very bad. I am a desert. I am a canyon of volcanic ash. I am a black timberland mutilated by fire, still smoldering beneath a sky that shows no sign of rain. When I close my eyes, I can still see that room, more like a tomb, where I lay in a state, while a jealous she-god perched on the lintel spat fire on those who came to revive me, to shake me and say, "Come home!" Thus, shielded by the object of desire, desire itself took a free hand and bore a hole no heart, not mine, could encompass, and wrought me a leaden cipher. Dismayed by our calamitous handiwork, my guardian shed her girdle of snakes and fled to the suburbs to knit up what was rent in her soul. The snakes in a frenzy swarmed to the bier and struck at my naked ribs. Their venom enraged me. The snakes were ecstatic. Leapt to the walls, gesticulating like insane hieroglyphs, never to be deciphered. What does the snake say when you swallow him entire? When his head ignites your belly, turns your entrails into fire. What does the snake say when his tail becomes your tongue? Does he writhe and thus portray just how the heart was stung? What does the snake say when his swelling fills your throat? Is he danger? Is he play? Do you sink or do you float? What does the snake say? What color are his eyes? Will the mother still want to pray for a son who no longer tries to stop what the snake says? Stop vomiting high treason. God is long and dangerous flesh, strikes hard and heeds no reason. Her pubic hair was a perfect dark feather. As if there were a powerful magnet buried deep within her mount of Venus, which drew all those dark filings into immaculate variation. Yeah, she was just the dynamite I needed to blast myself out of that dead stump of a life. But too many times I was caught still kissing as she took her lips away. What would it have taken She would have had to stop thinking of me the way she thought of me. And I would have had to stop thinking the way I thought. She would have had to stop treating me the way she treated me. And I would have had to stop hurting the way I hurt. She would have had to stop being who she was, I suppose, and I would have had to stop being who I was. The truth would have had to stop being the truth. The world, something that would have been possible with the one thing that changes everything. But the word for that thing was no longer so easily spoken. What would it have taken? She would have had to fall asleep with my heart in her mouth, and I with hers in mine. 9 would have had to become 6, and 6 would have had to become 9. There is only one other lover who will suffice, the earth itself. And I'm not sure yet just how or where to enter her. Perhaps when I die. Meanwhile, I dream of sweating houses, standing row after row, so utterly naked on the no longer naked prairie. One dream all the long, blood-sucking summer. And one memory. That night, her hand tumefied slightly, and my mouth moistened, and she entered me at last. Stupid child that I am, I still crave the desolation of January's beauty, for some careless wind to come along and spew a dry mist of snow off the roof. The countless grains glistening in the gelid air would enrapture and then blind me. But nature is no mother. Better withdraw your heart from your glands. Sunshine slanting on a drift ravishes like an effusive harlot who draws your blood but cannot stay to drink it. And there's nothing crueler than crimson in the snow. I am prone to ecstasy for dubious and fleeting reasons. I wish I could recall my love from those who don't requite it. Last New Year's Eve, I stood alone on the dance floor when the music changed and I lost my feet. Before I could stand again, a star fell from the winter sky and landed on my chest. The snow and frozen turf sizzled beneath the burning weight, and I steamed like a newborn river. Now the sky has changed. The stars flown back, reconstellated itself somewhere in the firmament. Now I will gaze at her 1,000 times and never know her name. There are places faced with the fact that you used the same word 3 times in a sentence meant to convey your discovery. There are times when you look through your kitchen window and are more than curious to find out what lurks next door. And as shapes begin to hint at a story you want so badly to read, you realize that what you see before you is only a reflection of the room behind you. There are times when you feel the burst of life that attends the momentary death of desire. There are times when you remember things you never really knew. There are times when you feel like your old self again, which is something you never quite felt before. And then there are times when you think you're holding only a cock in your hand. But then you realize that the heart grows inside, like a shining root that sinks through your core and reaches at the groin, where it sways like a lonely tendril. And there are trees, like that